when a baby cries, that can mean anything. You know, you hear him cry, I don't know if he's hurting really badly. Then you see him jitter and his lips quiver a little bit, and then you realize when you were withdrawing, that's exactly what you as an adult were going through.
You can actually feel the withdrawals.
Yes.
When they start kind of shaking, you could actually feel that.
In the beginning, when they started him on the morphine, he was getting about like 9, 10. Sometimes I think his highest would even hit 14. So it was hitting a really high limit, and they just couldn't get him to calm down. And then they just, you know, 2 days ago, introduced clonidine to help bring down the morphine, and it's been pretty successful.
So what they're doing is they're detoxing him off of the Suboxone and
Right.
the Ativan
Right.
with
The morphine.
and they're detoxing him off the morphine with the quantity. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
And they have to be super careful because, I mean, we don't want anyone to feel pain, especially infants.
Right.
So we want to make sure that, I'm sure that the docs want to make sure that he detoxes everything at the softest, easiest level that he possibly can without any uncomfort.
On one hand, you got this precious little baby boy. On the other hand, he's laying in a hospital in the NICU getting detoxed. I mean, that's pretty sad because he clearly didn't ask to be born like that. How does that feel?
Like shit.
Explain.
It's heartbreaking. You know, we think we're so bad and tough and we can handle withdrawals as an adult, and then you get these times where you see your son sitting there and he had nothing to do with any choices that you made, and then now he's jittery and he's going through shakes, and even morphine's just keeping him comfortable.
Right. And he's only 4 days old.
And he's only 4 days old.
And he's lying in a bed without his mom. You're not following nothing but your own rules. We don't play that here. If somebody says, stand up, stand up. Sit down. If somebody tells you to roll over, roll over. We don't tell you to do anything in this place unless it's going to save your ass. Period. It's the wreckage of his past. Around 120-something days ago, James was dragged out of rehab by the sheriff's department. He had a boatload of warrants out for his arrest. In jail now for about 90 days.
I'm ready to, do the program, and this has been a very humbling experience.
Why?
Because I appreciate the outside a lot more. Before I took it for granted.
It's not like rehab where people care about you and want to help you.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of love here, that's for sure.
Not at all. There's no love here at all.
You don't got your mama's love, that's for sure. And he was into that magical thinking. First it was, oh my God, I'm dying, to I can do this and I rule the world, blah, blah, blah. So he somehow needed to get humbleized, and I believe that jail definitely humbleized him. Like I say about all the people that I deal with, he's a great kid. He's just making bad choices. So hopefully we can change that.
Up late all night last night, drinking.
What am I gonna do with you? Huh? You okay? You know what the definition of insanity is? It's doing the same thing over and over again, expecting the results to be different. So what did he do? He hit the streets, he went back to his friends, he started drinking a little bit, and before you know it, there's a needle in his pocket, there's a law behind him, the red lights and handcuffs. He got off the Greyhound bus, he's been partying all night, he's been drinking and using meth. He puked all over the place. We're now taking him to the ER just to make sure he's medically okay. We're more careful here than anything because we don't want to lose anybody, period. The treatment plan for Mr. Fusca, I'll tell you what it is. It's get him sober, get him healthy, get him thinking right, getting him back to court, and now he's going to have to face the repercussions of his recent past. They might want to put him back in jail for a while, and if they do, that's okay.
There's always in the back of my head that I could be stopping a guy that's wanted for murder and he's laying in wait with a gun for me.
You reach into the bucket and you feel something that you thought might be there, but you put your hand in.
So we work really hard. We come out and we're obviously looking for these big crimes. And once we finally find it, it's honestly, it's a sense of relief because it's like, oh, I've been working so hard, I got something. And then you start going into, wow, this is heroin. Like, I didn't know what it was at first. I knew it was drugs, but I didn't know it was heroin. So then I find out, wow, it's 18 pounds of heroin. That has got to feel good because I know that I just saved lives. I mean, I think I did the math on it, and that comes out to almost $1 million in heroin, and it was something like 8,000 doses of heroin. So I just took 8,000 doses of heroin off the street. How many lives could I have just saved?
For this car, I started back here, and you can kind of figure out, like this plastic piece, it doesn't go here. So I was wondering why I was back here. You got to figure out, this is a lower part of the dash. If you look in here, it looks perfectly normal. It looks perfectly normal from this side. But if you pop this open, it's hard to see where you're at, but if you look right in here, and when I move, you can see it, there's, you can see silver Dynamat. It looks like it's like a silver sticker that you can stick. So I was like, that's not right. Took my little pry tool, I popped that open, and then that's when I can see the kilos of cellophane. So then I used my force. And this is the little man-made door. That's a trunk latch. And it goes all the way far back here and all the way to about right here.
So this car was headed from Huntington Park down in LA and was traveling up to Bakersfield. There was 2 people in the car. I talked to them. I ended up searching the vehicle, and then I found a hidden compartment in the car. It was a pretty sophisticated compartment. We ended up having to use some like jumper cables to open it up. And once we were able to open it up, we found just several packages of drugs. We didn't know what they were at the time, obviously. Every time that I'm doing a traffic stop, I'm just really being analytical and really being aware. And then that's when, if something's not right, maybe I'll ask a few clarifying questions. Now that's not right. And then maybe their body language, maybe their story, and eventually that'll lead to a search. And sometimes we find money, drugs, guns, people. It's been exciting. The entire point of these trap compartments, the entire point of their trip is to deceive law enforcement. They don't want to be caught by us. So when you pick up on these little subtle cues that kind of seems suspicious, and then all of a sudden it leads to finding the drugs. It's like a cat and mouse game, and it's so fun when you realize, yeah, my suspicion was right. There's something going on, and then bam, you find it, and that's what makes us want to keep driving and keep doing this job over and over and over. Hi guys. Hello sir. How are you?
Passing air duster can and passing out repeatedly. Informants of passerby tech 200.
You know what's really sad is so many of them, actually the majority of the people that need help are never going to get it for two reasons. Number one, they don't want it. Number two, they don't think they need it. And I guess there's a third. They don't even know how to go about it.